It's the #1 show in the streets. Hoodrich Radio with DJ Scream.
It's Hoodrich Radio. It's the new 92.3, 96.7 to be DJ Scream is here. Moran is up in here, and we would like to welcome to Hoodrich Radio the one, the only, the phenomenal KeKe Palmer.
Yes.
Thank you.
You are in Atlanta, and on behalf of Atlanta, I just want to tell you, it was a while ago, but thank you for your amazing role for being Chili.
Oh, my gosh.
Thank you. Like,
Yo.
I'm telling you, when I say you played that role well, thank you for doing that for Atlanta, for
Oh
real.
my gosh, that means so much. Because first of all, TLC is TLC. They're one of the most iconic groups in the world.
Right.
So for me, it was a lot on my plate, and I love chili. So it's like I can't go up in here and the baby hair's got to be right. The whole attitude got to be right. And so when people respond and they really like, all of us work so hard. Lil Mama Drew Sidora. And so when we seen everybody's reaction to it, and like people be like, VH1 playing it right now, I'm watching it again.
Right.
Man, I wanted to make something like the Temptations movie, if y'all remember that one.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Or the American Dream, the Michael Jackson story, like something that people
How
want
did
to
you
watch.
prepare for that role? Like, did you listen to a lot of TLC and shit, like, leading up to the role? How did you prepare for it?
Absolutely. I kind of zoned in, specifically, of course, just on Chili and the part that she played in the group. I didn't really do too much studying of the group as a whole, but more so who she was to the group and what she represented for them. So I watched a lot of interviews. I also watched a lot of her TV show, the reality show she did, just to kind of see kind of how she, what her mannerisms were and things like that. And then I actually spent a lot of time with her.
Wow.
Like, we used to really hang out all the time when I was filming that project. I would sleep over her house, and she was very open and honest. And her personality is very, very bubbly, which is similar to mine. So that was very easy for me to play off of. But it's so funny because her house is so huge, but everything is adjusted to her height. That's the funniest thing. So I'm like, girl, I'm like, this sink is down. I'm like, but the house is huge.
That's funny. That's funny. So, what were you doing first, acting or doing music? Which came first?
Well, professionally, I was doing acting first.
Okay.
Music was kind of like, I did music in church, and I used to always use my singing abilities to kind of catch people's attention. Because, no one ever wanted to really take a chance on a new actor. You think about kids, they need you to hit that mark, know them lines, and then you have the confidence to be in front of that camera and not be afraid. So I would always kind of trick people into seeing my confidence by giving them that singing that I did in church. Because, church really builds your confidence up when it comes to performing.
Right.
So I would always go to my auditions and my mom would tell me, try to find a way to let them get you to sing. And I'd be like, can I please sing for you before I go? I would love to sing. And then I'd start singing, and then that would kind of be how I charmed them into kind of being like, well, maybe we should give her a chance.
That sounds like a Super Saiyan finesse. Like, that sounds like a super finesse. Like, really?
No, seriously, that really was finesse.
Yo.
I'm trying to tell you, me and my mom used to come up with little gags like that all the time to get people to really give me a chance. Because, you had to get people to give me. And she wasn't going to be like, shake your booty and show your dada. We wasn't on that. We like, how can we get them to really see what I'm about the best, most genuine way? And so music was how I would always do that. And then after I did Akil and the Bee, music again was always something that I wanted to do. But in film and television, it's separated. It's not like when you do theater where you can just do a musical and then you're singing and dancing and acting. It was kind of like film is just film, music is just music. Whereas, in the old days, that's not how it was.
So as a person that came up the way that you came up, if you look at a star that came up on social media, or you look at the reality stars, what's your take on it?
Oh, I think that they're kind of helping to encourage what I'm talking about. Like, because they are putting themselves in a platform that allows them to be kind of many different things at once.
Gotcha.
And it's a little bit more acceptable for whatever reason, maybe because the fans feel like they can find you. But then also, I think in time, things just go back to what they were. When you think about the Judy Garlands, the Sammy Davis Jr.'s, the Mickey Rooneys, those people had to do everything. It wasn't just you had when you said I want to work for Paramount, you needed to sing, dance, act, tap dance, damn near do comedy too. And then things kind of changed, and then people kind of separated them all. If you're a comedian, you can only be funny. If you're an actor, you can only be serious. If you're a dancer, and now I feel like things are changing again. You know what I mean? Like, people are saying, okay, Donald Glover done did X, Y, and Z, and I love his show Atlanta. Okay, I just seen KeKe on Star, she dancing and singing and did Grease Live. So now it's coming back to that time again. So I think it's timing, and then I think also, our generation is really breaking the system because we have so much more control. Even though things are still, micromanaged at times, we have a little bit more control than the other generations when it comes to the internet and the social media and the way that we can connect.
That's right.
Okay. Now, speaking of time, you mentioned time. There's a movement called Time's Up, and there's a lot going on where women are coming out and just saying we've dealt with certain things. Have you had a Time's Up moment in the industry?
Totally, but I can say not in the situation of with someone I was working with.
Right.
You know, thank God. I've never been in a situation where I was working with somebody and I felt, you know, in some ways objectified. It was actually the opposite. I remember I did a movie with Ice Cube. It was a long shot, so I was about 13 or 14 years old, and he was like, I need to talk to you for a minute. And I was real scared because I'm like, oh no, did I?
Ice Cube.
Right. Ice Cube wants to talk to you.
How did I mess up? And he was like, you know, I want you to know that you're growing up as a young lady. So, you know, I know you're very friendly. You're going around hugging these, you know, the grips and the people that are part of the show. But I need you to know that you may not realize that you're developing as a young woman. So you need to be careful of how people are taking you and what you're giving off and how they may perceive that. So I just want you to be careful. So that's kind of the stuff I went through, like definitely as a kid and stuff like that. Like I was very, very much supported and encouraged in a positive way. But then as I got older, I went from being little KeKe to, again, not the message that he said rang true. Because in my mind, and as a child star, you miss a lot of pivotal social moments, you know, that happen in school. The first time your guy best friend, he filling me up.
Right.
Back up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or the first time your coach, your PE coach, he kind of looking at me funny. I miss a lot of that. So in my mind, I'm still kind of thinking of myself as that young, cutesy child entertainer, but other people are seeing me as this budding young woman. And they're approaching me that way. And it took me a long time to kind of realize, okay, how do I draw that boundary line? It kind of made me feel like I was some time behind.
And how did you draw the line? That's what I was going to ask you next. Like, how did you become the brand that was like, hey, don't mess with her like that?
I mean, definitely probably when a recent situation happened, I think, you know, with a singer, you know, and I really let people know, like, don't try me. You know what I'm saying? Don't try me because I know what's going on. And I don't like you. If you've known me since I was a kid, don't try to take advantage of that. Don't try to cross that boundary line and misuse it. You know what I'm saying? Just because you've known me for years. And that was something I really had to learn how to do. But again, a lot of times people don't realize when it comes to starting entertainment as a child, you miss a lot of normal social moments. So sometimes it takes you a second to really know how to act, how to maneuver.
So when it comes to growing up, though, did you miss out on things like prom or homecoming and stuff? You didn't go to prom?
I didn't go to prom. I wanted to go to
God.
prom so bad that my Sweet 16 was themed as a prom.
Wow. So
I missed out on all that stuff.
So like, if
I ain't
you
going
could,
to prom either, man.
You did what?
What you was doing though?
I was DJing.
Oh, you was out
Somewhere
there
working.
doing some dope shit.
I was out
Me
working.
too.
Hey,
I got to go to work. I can't go to prom.
I mean, but
Yeah,
the
no, I
prom
get
is
you.
Prom
something
was next
special
week.
for the women, though. Like
That's true.
Yeah,
that's-
for a woman.
It's very, very true.
Yeah.
And it was very, very sad for me at that age. I think now it's, you know, of course it's something that I'm like, okay, well, I've accepted it. It didn't happen and that's fine. But I think the main things that when I think about the sacrifices that I've made or how they play into my life now is mostly the social dynamics.
Right.
That's really, aside from learning in high school, you realize like, okay, this is the type of personality that I don't really rock with. I can already peep who this person is. Okay, this is the type of people I like to hang with. And so as time goes, it becomes much easier for you to identify these type of characters. Whereas to me, everybody is a new character.
Right.
Because I didn't, unless it's industry people. Industry people, business people.
Right.
Other people my age may not be able to identify. That's a sucker. Right. He's a scammer. He's real. This person's serious. So it's reverse. Like I know it in terms of business and they know it in terms of personal and real life.
2 weeks away from Valentine's Day. Who is KeKe Palmer's Valentine? And if you don't have one, who would you like to be your Valentine?
Who I would like to be my Valentine is probably, I mean, this person is married, and I'm not being rude about it, you know what I mean? But
That's
in
how
my
Moran
just
is politely,
exactly.
just politely let them know
in
you
my
like.
mind, in my mind, it's Michael Ealy. I've loved Michael Ealy for
Okay.
years. Michael
That's
Ealy's
what's
like a
up.
long time old man crush
Right.
for me.
Right.
So Michael Ealy, you're always my Valentine.
Right.
But I don't have a Valentine. You know, I don't really. My love life is, you know, it's. You know,
You
one
working.
of a businesswoman.
I respect that. So,
Hard out here.
so seeing how you didn't go to prom, if you could recreate that situation, how would you create it? How would KeKe Palmer want her prom to be?
Well, I would definitely be prom queen, honey. This personality, I would be. Okay, if I went to school, I could definitely see myself doing all sports, including cheerleading. You know, I could see myself definitely doing volleyball, basketball, track. I'm because that's how I'm driven. So
Right.
how I am in my career would be the same way I would have been in school. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
And then in terms of like, I would definitely be interested in student council and stuff like that. I'm definitely interested in that kind of stuff. And I would have been probably cutest couple with some fine dude. The finest one there was.
Yeah, we would have won all the senior superlatives. Like we probably would have had it lit together.
Best
I think
smile
so.
too.
Yeah,
Come on, let's go.
you know what I'm saying? But the crazy thing is, I was actually voted most friendly out of my senior class. So yeah, I'm dead serious.
See what I'm saying?
So, you know what I'm saying? They said I was the nicest person in my class.
Hey,
So
what sign are you?
I'm actually a Virgo. I'm a What does that mean? What I do?
What the gang?
What I do?
Gang.
You a Virgo?
I'm a Virgo too.
Give it up for the Virgos that have taken over
Virgo
my
gang.
damn radio
Virgo
show.
gang. We are the best.
Yes.
We done had
You, man.
me and Scream. We done had this debate, bro. We got Beyonce. We got
Michael
Michael Jackson.
Jackson.
We got Donald Glover.
We got Mother Teresa on the
Nah,
John
spiritual.
Kennedy.
I always
Bruh.
win the debate because we got Jesus.
It don't, bruh.
Oh, you're a
bruh.
Capricorn,
Jesus.
but wait, let me
Who
put
else
you on
though?
game.
We got Jesus.
Who else?
Let me put
Denzel
you.
Washington.
But let me put you on
LeBron
game.
James.
Okay.
DJ Scream.
We got Beyonce and Michael Jackson.
But let me put you on game. Capricorn and Virgo is the perfect match.
I've heard. Earth signs.
Yeah.
Give it up for the
Hoodrich Radio.
very good
baby.
energy in here.
Union. It's a love union. When's your
Yes.
birthday? August or September?
August. I am an August Virgo.
August what?
August 26th.
When is your birthday? We didn't look that part up. I'll look on this iPad. When is your birthday? It's not the 26th.
We got the same
Are
birthday?
y'all twins?
I didn't know.
Moran and KeKe Prom
Yo,
are
it's
twins.
lit. It's lit.
that is
It's lit.
crazy.
Separated
Yes.
at birth.
You guys
Oh,
know what?
man.
I done fell out. That is crazy,
yeah.
dude.
August 26th. I'm a Virgo.
You are an
Yeah.
exceptional human being.
Hey.
Just
This is
saying.
great. You deserve this. 'Cause
Hey.
we had an interview a couple weeks ago where Moran in the interview, they didn't get along. They almost
no.
got to fighting.
You're
And-
kidding. Was
No,
it a guy or girl?
man.
And this is good, man. So see, gotta
had
look
to
out for you,
revive
man.
you.
No, this is the thing. Like it
They must
happened.
been a Gemini.
Not. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was. This is the thing. Like I'm that type of person. It happened. We done moved on. It's
moved
all
on.
good. It's all
Yeah,
good.
no, seriously. But sometimes it bees like that. But as long
Word.
as you let people know. I did an interview not too long ago, and, no one could really tell, but I had to make sure it be known. This is my opinion. And you ain't got to agree. Don't you dismiss
Y'all heard
me.
that voice though.
Right.
That voice though.
Right.
I ain't never ever seen you act like that.
And that's cool because I'll say like my Hoodrich family, like they were all surprised they found out I'm a slick savage, but only when I need to be. Only when I need to be.
When they bring it out of
When
you.
they bring it out, hey,
This
you
is
bring
great.
it. Hey,
This is
you
great.
bring it out. You
This is
taking
a
everything that come with it.
This is definitely a Kodak moment. Now you've been in the studio. You've been working on some music, and
Yes.
we're hearing bangers, and we feel like we're taking it very seriously because these records are solid. I'm gonna tell you they're solid.
Yeah.
Paris,
Yes.
shout to Paris, put the
They
play
are.
together.
Yes.
He
Shout out
knows
to
if
Keith.
I don't like somebody's music, I'm gonna be like, your music needs work.
Yeah, no, you be real.
Your music is solid.
Thank you
I
very
agree.
much.
Solid.
I
And I
agree.
know some people who have produced for you and work with you, like, yo, she
Tasha
gets in the
Spins.
studio. Tasha and Spins.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. Shout out to Queso.
And
Shout
they're
out
like,
to
yo, she
Alex.
gets to work. She has fun, and then she brings a vibe, and she works.
Man,
So,
thank you.
does that ethic come from, like, being on the movie set? Because movie sets are forever. They never end, right?
No, seriously.
And then going to the studio for 8 hours probably is like child's play. Not child's play, but easier for you because you're coming from a movie set that took 3 months.
Yeah.
Whereas you might work on a record for
And
8
it's not so much structure in the music industry, which can be
Right.
quite aggravating to a personality like mine. But at the same time, it can be awesome for a personality like mine.
Right.
Because, like they said, I can come in, I can chill, we can talk, we can catch a vibe, and then I'm ready to work. I'm ready to get the song done. And most of the time, music people are like, dang, like,
Right.
wow, I really appreciate the work ethic. Because
Right.
that's not generally how it is. And I think that definitely comes from the discipline that I've acquired from being in the film and television world. Because
Right.
you have to be on time, you have to know your lines, you have to be prepared to work, and you have to make sure we can get in and get out. Otherwise, you're wasting millions and millions of dollars down at the production company.
Is the Grammy the moment for a musician? Like, is that one of the things that you seek, especially after watching it the other night? And some people have mixed feelings about the people that won. Like, would that be your moment, or are you just fine saying, when I go to my shows and my fans receive my music,
I think that's the most important.
That's the most
Is the
important thing.
people, the people in the community
Right.
are always the most important, and to also allow them to see that accolades don't validate you.
Facts.
So if I did win a Grammy, the only thing that I would be happy about would be the fact that I could get up there and say, this is an awesome thing. But you have to believe in yourself. To get a moment to say, like, there's nothing that's different between me and you. There's nothing that can stop you from doing what you want to do. Like, to get the moment to stand on that stage of this is it or you're the one and be able to say that means nothing. That's the moment that I would love to have. I think people wait lifetimes for the Academy Awards or the Grammys, and it's no disrespect to those things. Those things are cool. We
Right.
like those things, and we build them up to be important as they are.
Great people that won that
Yeah.
that are great, and there's great people that didn't win that are still great.
Facts.
Still great. Exactly. And so for me, especially being a quote unquote celebrity and stuff like that, I've realized that the most powerful thing about being in that position is allowing people to know
did
it's
she
not
just say quote
important.
unquote celebrity?
Like, come on, like
Stop
we
it,
don't.
guys.
After you go past 1 billion
Yes.
social media followers,
You know,
you are a celebrity.
Yes. But
You're a
like
celebrity.
you are though. Like you really, I feel like the same everything that you just said that still applies to you too though. Like you are great.
What?
It's the
Stop.
truth. Like
All right,
it's,
keep it up.
It's
Virgo.
the truth. Like
A lot
I'm not
of Virgo
trying.
moments
It's the
going on
truth.
today.
Like
A
that
lot of Virgo
applies.
things
Everything
going
that
on
you
today.
just said that applies to you too. Like you are great. You are out here inspiring people. You know, you really are dope.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That means so much to me, for real, because at the end of the day, we all fighting for our dreams. We
Right.
all are
True
fighting for our
indeed.
dreams. And sometimes the celebrity thing can really make people feel like, in some ways, disconnected. And so that's probably been always my thing from the moment that I realized what celebrityism was or popularity was to be able to break that barrier and to allow myself to be more touchable to those out there. That because it's like whether you're trying to be a doctor or you're a lawyer in school or you're a DJ and you're trying to become a VJ and you're whatever you're doing and you're trying to do whatever else. I'm right there with you. My shit just, my
It's okay.
stuff just,
You're rich now.
sorry about that.
Come on now.
My stuff just comes with a side effect that makes more people know me. That's the only thing. It's a side effect that I can't control. You know, and so that's what I always want my peers to understand about me and what I do is that we the same. You know what I'm saying? When you meet me, walk up to me and be like, KeKe, what's up, girl? You know what I'm saying? Let's talk. It ain't gotta be, oh my God. You know what I mean? Because I'm you.
Right.
You know what I mean? I really am.
Right. Absolutely.
real.
Let's talk about Bossy.
Yes.
New record. Talk about
Yes.
the creation of it. Talk about the production of it. Talk about the title of it, what it means.
Yes.
Talk to us about Bossy.
So Bossy is an amazing record. I was working with Tasha, like I was saying, Tasha, Queso, and Alex, and we had done, I think, about 2 songs before this, and they had gotten to know me, spend time with me and stuff like that, and I came to the studio, and I was like, okay, what we working on today? What we gonna do? We gonna start from scratch? We doing da-da-da? And they like, we actually have a record for you. We want to see what you think. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, cool. I already knew it was gonna be a fire joint because she's fire, and they're fire. And so they played, and it was Bossy, and it was, Queso on the demo of it. I'm like, okay, cool. And sometimes you can't tell when someone else is on it. You can't really tell how the song's gonna sound or what it's gonna be like. So I start recording it. We finish it fairly quickly. And when we play it back, I'm like, what the hell? Like, I just was going off because when that part hit a hood and I'm bougie, Gucci on my booty, popping like a toolie, you ain't popping, need to cool it. Just cash out with my jeweler while you stuck here looking stupid. I'm winning while they losing, get your nigga cause he jeweling. I was just like, yes, this is me.
Oh, we gotta open
Hood
this
and
up.
I'm
I'm just saying,
bougie.
like, yo, I'm just saying, like,
Man, I was blown by, and I was like, we got to bring that back because he had it in once. I'm like, yo, we need to bring that back twice because that right there is that part. That's the part that I want to repeat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got. Come on, Screen. You got to do it, bro.
Look at him.
You've been doing it all. Oh, come on. Hold on. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
Damn
Hold on. Wait for it.
iPhones.
It's coming.
Dang,
It's
I'm
Here
coming.
supposed to
we
be
go.
freezing at
It's
the wrong
coming.
time.
There it is. There it is. There it is.
Hey,
You earned the
this app
horns.
will really mess you up.
You earned the
But yeah,
horns.
so we recorded it. I loved it. And then the funny thing about it was, I was working on Star, the TV show, Lee Daniels show on Fox, and I was like, they want me to do a song on there, but the song that they sent me and Lee, we was like, okay, it's cool, but neither one of us were that hyped about it. And my character on the show, she's this real bossy chick. She really got it going on. And so I was like, I don't know if it's all right, if this is orthodox, because this is for my project, but if I can get them to put this on the show, I think it'd be real dope. It will make sense. And so I sent it to Lee. He went off. He was like, yo, this record is the record of the season. Like, this is we really need this on the show. You got to make sure on your schedule for you to perform this on the show. And I was just like, yes. And so, we did it on the show. It's in the show. It gets ready to premiere at the end of March. I'm very excited. It's a season premiere record. I'm performing it. And, from there, it really kind of pulled it all together, what I wanted to title my album, as well as the start of my new label, which is Big Bosses Entertainment.
Okay.
And that pretty much exemplifies to me, not just me and who I am, but how I want anybody around me to feel. I'm not one of those people where it's like, I'm the one and there's only one. Like, I feel like we gotta all be one. Because when we're all one, then we really can create something that the culture is really moved by. You know what I mean? I look at Motown records, Uptown records, you know what I mean? Those are the things that inspire me. And what I love most about them is that they had a team. Even when I look at Murder Inc., You know what I mean? And they had that inspired me, a synergy between people. They all told stories and connected them together. So that's what I feel. I'm a boss, and I want to surround myself with bosses. So it's Big Bosses Entertainment. The album is called The Boss, and that it's gonna come out later this year. So
I'm waiting on the book, man.
Me too.
Give it up for KeKe
I gotta
Palmer.
do
Yeah.
Give it up for KeKe Palmer.
Aw, man.
We appreciate you coming to Hood Rich Radio.
Yeah, thank you.
You know we're gonna be playing that Bossy. That's a banger, and salute to you. Many more blessings to you. It's KeKe
man.
Palmer, Hood Rich Radio 92.3, 96.7 The Beat.
Yeah, that was dope.